Hey, welcome. All right, thanks for tuning in to check out your boy. He Funk. Think right out here in the land. It ain't the way out this morning, but I'm in the land. Doing what I do for you. Got a nice one for you today. Short and sweet. Again, hopefully informative. Let's do what we do. Writers and 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. Always the message of the story for life. These are life lessons. You can learn them, live by them, and use them for yourself. That's the whole purpose of what I do for you. Let's go. And I appreciate the numbers going up. So the viewers, I love you guys. Let's rock. Right Thinkers mission. And yeah, I'm on it. Ain't nothing changed is to enlighten. Hopefully, I'm doing that. Inspiring. Sure, want to do that. Educating. That's what I do for you. And hopefully, get you motivated as the individual to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Use all these things to better yourself. That's what I did. Right Thinkers Way of Life. That's what it is. Through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's the goal, or that's my mission as a right thinker. All my right thinkers should know themselves. If you claim to be a right thinker, you should at least know yourself. That's the point. That's the goal. Ain't about religion, ain't about no cult, all of that nonsense. It's just about you having knowledge of yourself for yourself. That's the purpose. So let me get to the lesson. Question I ask, know thyself. You need to know who you are. So here's a decision. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. You don't want to be them. Slide and run around them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. I can teach them. That's what I do. What I do for you. I appreciate you too. A person who knows not and believe that they know, you know how I feel about them, but they are dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock doing just that, waking you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. I think of know thyself. To Mayat, be true. Today, again, there we go with Mayat. The reason I'm trying to get across to my right thinkers, and I'm adopting that philosophical concept, because Maya is the way to the higher self, higher consciousness, spiritual enlightenment, Neha's waking up. But she laid out the rules and the guidelines that you can follow to make that happen. She ain't just telling you, do this, do that. Ain't commandments. It's things you can live by. So that's the difference. So, right thinkers, let's talk about my girl, my philosophy. Bam. Okay. On the back, it gives a little layout. I'm gonna read you back to you and break it down. Hopefully, as we go through it, but the paragraphs, so it shouldn't be that long. But it's informative, breaking down what Mayat is. Well, he hears about Mayat. You keep praising Mayat, Mayat, Mayat. I give lessons on Mayat weekly. They're starting to realize how important Mayat is. Why? Because our ancients thought enough of Maya philosophy that at Judgment Day you was judged by how Maya did you live. Don't get no better than that for me. So that's why Maya is important, and that's why I respect her the way we respect Amen, the hidden one. All right, let's go. The title is right there. Let's talk about Maya philosophy. It's Code of Ethics and the reality of spirituality. She's getting you spiritually prepared for the next level consciously by doing things in the physical world that'll help you get closer to your divine self, higher self, God, whoever you want to call it. Let's go. Right thinkers. Right thinker philosophy, aka is really Maya philosophy. Again, what is Maya? Maya is a philosophy and a spiritual, again, symbol as well as what? A cosmic energy or force which pervades the entire universe. Your boy, George Lucas, took this concept and making billions of dollars. We call it Star Wars series or saga, whatever it is. I was a Star Wars fan. Not so much now because, yeah, I'm, nevertheless, I ain't going there. But yeah, when I was in solitary confinement, I had Return the Jedi book. I let this stay there. So yeah, I'm familiar with Star Wars, but I wasn't enlightened then. I wasn't Egyptian savvy then. I wasn't spiritually enlightened then. So it served a purpose for me, and trust me, I know now where he got it from, just like the Greeks. Now it should be understood again by the right thinkers is that Maya philosophy is an ancient way of life that based on ethical and moral as well as spiritual principles which which prove order and harmony in what society and the spiritual evolution in the life of every individual. At that time, everybody practiced Maya. I'll leave that there. That's why they lived for over 4,000 years in peace and harmony amongst themselves when society would live and done the same thing for thousands of years before outsiders came in and did what they did. But before them, we was fine. Why we never reached that status now? Again, I tell you, an honest man, I'm one, I can't be a politician. Simple. So I'll never be in position to do things I think need to be done from that aspect. All I can do is teach. Hope one of my students who aspires to do that understand how they can do it and still keep themselves, which is a hard tightrope to walk. But yeah, if you can find the common thread there and do that, help me. Why? Because we need people like that in power positions to help the people instead of all these greedy, egoistic people who just they just greedy. Get back to the lesson. Sorry, I just get a little sympathetic there. All right, here we go. It's a fact that Maya was the basis of our ancient Egyptian civilization, which lasted for over 4,000 years. Yes, I do my homework. Yes, I plan this. Yes, I put it together. So, yeah, I'm familiar with what I'm doing before I do it. I'm just prepared. Old Boy Scout rule, okay? Nothing worse than a teacher or somebody who do what I do to be unprepared. That's the faux pas that, okay, I don't have a problem. So let's go. Yeah, now let's talk about what happens to a society. Here we go. When the principles of Maya are not practiced. I'm gonna put a check mark there. I'm gonna be a minute. Someone know where I'm at. They're saying we're showing you what Maya can do as a society for thousands of years. Not a couple years, not a few years. Thousands. And why can't we reach that status now? Because the society we live in now, I keep telling you, when spirituality was king, we lived a spiritual lifestyle across the board. Now, sadly, money is king, so we live in a monetary, greedy society. Ain't many good people in power to do good things. I'm moving on. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but what I see in society going on, we're going to hell in a handbasket, as my grandmother would say. And how can one listen to this hypocrisy? How can one promote true nonviolence and peace in a society of what? Violence, racism, hate, hate crimes, etc. But if you preaching or professing this, why is it not happening? We need to practice. Well, I'm doing that Maya philosophy. Why? AKA right thing philosophy. Why? I know one thing. It changed my life. I know I've seen people practicing it. It changing their life. It ain't on a large scale. No, but man, I got 20 people following me. Oh, yeah, but that's 20 more people that's getting better at being them best selves. It's got to start somewhere. So my point is, we're not practicing Maya, and we practice everything but that. But those who do practice Maya see the difference, and I'm seeing other people get it going. So we're moving. I feel better. Now, because, watch this, because the practice of right thinking philosophy, aka Maya, It's how you can what? Develop a virtuous lifestyle by lightening the human heart that leads to what? True happiness, hotep, aka peace, and most importantly, spiritual enlightenment. When you become spiritual enlightened, remember God is spirit. When you become God knowledgeable, God conscious, becoming knowledgeable of you and God becoming one, heart, mind, coherence. You watch my man Greg Brayton, they break it down. The Native Americans got a concept. So it's a spiritual thing along with a mental thing. So if you refuse to become enlightened or not get knowledge and become better equipped to think and act on another level, you're always going to be on the beastly level of the third degree. And if you're on the third degree of the seventh rings of the chakra, you won't pass Amen. That means you're going to be taken down. Why? Because you haven't lived past the level of the beast of the nature of the world. That means fight or flight, sexual preferences, and being in control. Those no natures. When you got compassion, empathy, tell the truth, and you know yourself, those are higher levels. Another lesson, excuse me, but they get back here. Where we at now? Remember, okay, enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment. That's the highest level of having spiritual knowledge and knowing thyself. But it's some things you need to do to make that happen. That's why I come in at. I'm helping you along the way. They say those who revere Maat are long lived. Why? Because you're preparing yourself for the afterlife. Makes sense to me when maybe everybody don't see it that way. But that's how I see it. When you live right, you're doing right. When your heart is like to pass the feather of Maya at Judgment Day, that's what she's preparing you for. Christians prepare you to be Christ-like when you get to the gate. Yeah, I know Jesus. Yeah, no man. Okay, come on in. Don't work that way for ancient Egyptian concepts. That's what I'm saying. Now, watch this. Keep in mind. So excuse me. No. Now remember, seek purity of heart. How you do that? Hello. This is what I try to explain to you about how to do what she gives you the blueprint for through a what? An attitude of selfless service. I do that every day. I come on here and give you right thinking, my rightism, philosophical points of view. That's my selfless service that I'm paying to my higher self. If I did nothing else, I get blessed for that. That's just the start of my day. Okay, just one phase. But watch this now. You always keep in mind that you are performing actions with what? The grace of God. I feel like I'm doing my godly service by doing what I do for you. No matter what action you perform, it always should be in the interest of helping somebody improve themselves, getting them closer to God. My mission, it was to get you to God for yourself. That's the goal. That's what right thinking philosophy is all about. Now, let me get down here. So, okay, so understand that you are an instrument of God. I love that concept. Why? Because in church, the pastors, ministers are supposed to be messengers of God, aka instruments of God, to get the message and get the word out. My pastor does that very well. I'm hoping I can be as good as teaching the way I do, as good as he preached the way he do. That's the competition we have right now. But we try to save souls for the benefit of him. We both praise and respect him. All right, now watch this. You as the instrument of the divine. When you're working for him, I got the concept. I still ain't quite figured that out, but I don't know where it come from. I'm on a mission from him. So now, when you're an instrument of the divine, you either gonna preach, teach, or live to help others. That's where I'm at. So the divine act of what? Worship. I fellowship with like-minded people on Sundays. I could stay home and whatever, but I choose to do that. So understand that when you active worship, what is being God conscious, or each time that you remember, watch this, I call it being God conscious, but they're saying, and that's the same thing. Each time that you remember the divine, keep him on your mind. Y'all call it being prayed up, but I call it being God conscious. I'm God first. Second, and again, it's God first. God all the time. Why? That's just a concept that I have mentally, but I don't forget who I am and what I should be doing. That's being God conscious and keep you on the straight and narrow. I'm just going to break it down for you. Watch this. Now, that remember that the divine throughout if you think about and remember God throughout your normal course of the day, watch this. It's like taking a trip to the temple or a holy site, somewhere to pay reverence. But if you're doing that within yourself, you ain't got to go nowhere. It's already being done inside you. You are the temple. You can be the temple when you're doing the right thing, or the prison for doing the wrong thing, because you got to be in the same body. But it's your choice to make, and you got to be responsible. The consequences is yours. Watch this. Now, so when you offer, aka do the right thing, your actions is to the divine. And when it's accepted with no egoistic credit, my pastor don't take credit for nothing. I'm learning how to humble myself and give all the praise to God. I ain't got a problem with that at all. Okay, but that's what it's saying. When you do it without no egoistic credit, watch this, for yourself and your actions, it's even a higher form of worship of the divine. And when you inwardly, watch this, inwardly, not outward, inwardly, take that attitude of reality, excuse me, when you take the attitude of, in reality, your divine self, higher self, who is what? Acting and not you. My pastor would tell you that. Remember, I was first started doing this when I had my show at 11 o'clock. I would step out of myself and let my spiritual self do what it do. I understand the concept. I didn't know if anybody else would think it that way, but when he told me that, I said, my man, I do the same thing. So at 12:01, I'm back. Why? Well, let my man do his thing. Let him run the show. If that was ego, it wouldn't work too well. I'm just saying. But it's all about the inward. It's all about going in. And that's the highest form. Watch this. This is the highest form of worship of the divine. So if when you're able to maintain this form of awareness, aka God consciousness, continuously, daily, you would achieve, listen, spiritual enlightenment in a shorter time than most. I know people who've been in religion 40 years, still slogging around. I know people who've been spiritually enlightened less than 5 years, they moving and grooving. So I know the difference between the two. And yes, if it's done right and implemented on a regular basis, it will happen a lot quicker. And I'm saying give it to our young people, that's even better. I'm done. I almost made it through without freaking out. All right, let me get this done. Now, right thinkers, you must listen to this. You must continue to live this truth at all times, 24/7, 365, no days off, no breaks. No, why this is a way of life. That's why, in order to combat what? That ignorance, aka set your ego, and thereby purify your heart and become a master of self, aka right thinker. That's the goal of all my right thinkers. And when you doing the right thing, you are purifying your heart. So make that a daily routine, a daily habit. It can be lighter than the feather. It ain't got to be the same way. It can lighten it, get it light as possible. That may carry less nonsense in your heart as you can. I hope the lesson was good. I appreciate you tuning in. Oh, I got some more.